The baby boomer generation has had major influence on American culture for over the last 70 years. In fact, there's over 73 million boomers right now. They make up 1/3 of the current American population, John, and the oldest of which right now is turning 75 years old.
Yeah, pretty unbelievable. It's a huge part of the population, major demographic shifts going on. This generation has been credited widely with a lot of huge impacts in the economy and really the world. Forbes has an article that the boomers are credited with the expansion of suburban life, driving new trends in fashion and music. That's probably not someone we're ever going to be accused of. Igniting a new age of consumerism and mass advertising. They've also been credited with creating new business models and raising prosperity and security really for multiple generations.
Well, a lot of the things that we're benefiting from today has come from the hard work of the boomer generation. So a lot of credit to be given there. But with a lot of them moving into retirement, there's something out there. Maybe you've heard of this, maybe you haven't, but it's called the Silver Tsunami. All right, so what does this mean? What is the Silver Tsunami? So in the decade ahead, because people are now turning 75 years old, the big wave's kind of moving into that, Medicare spending is expected to more than double due to increased enrollment and healthcare costs. Along with that, they're expecting housing prices to fall, John, which anticipating that this group is going to be downsizing in 2024 and in the years moving forward. According to AARP, that's where some of the data comes from, over 51% of individuals 50 and older who own more than 75% of U.S. homes are projected to move into smaller residences. What this means is it could result in over 30 million units of housing and some of the more higher priced housing into the market. So the question is, what kind of impact is this going to have for all of us moving forward?
Yeah, and I've seen articles both ways. I don't know that I necessarily agree with the fact that housing prices will go down because, I mean, real estate is a pretty steady segment and market asset class. I mean, it goes through peaks and valleys like everything else. As interest rates go down, people talk about the millennials, which is now actually the biggest generation. Yeah. They can't afford houses. Well, they're also pretty young. When I was younger, you couldn't afford houses either. And then our generation, what we did is we saved money. And it's interesting when you start having kids and this generation starts to have kids more and more, those apartments get pretty tight. And so it's going to be interesting to see, and real estate may look different. But the other trend that you see here and we've seen this, of course, with some of our clients who are a lot of the boomers, is they think about downsizing, but then they like grandkids to come. And so I think, it just depends on also things like migration, how many people are going to be coming into the United States and that type of thing. But I personally think real estate's going to be a pretty steady asset class, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, there's a big case for that. I think it could go either way. I would say one of the bigger pieces coming out of this could be the increased cost of healthcare. Mm-hmm. It's already expected that people in retirement will spend well over six figures, between $200,000 and $300,000 for a married couple, just on uncovered medical expenses. With the wave of people hitting Medicare, what kind of impact is that going to have on the Medicare system? How stable is that going to be? And if it is stable, how do you create stability when you have that many people hitting a system? It's never been done before. We believe the cost of Medicare and healthcare across the board is going to go up, but also in order to help fend off some of these costs will likely come in the form of increased taxes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a political football that nobody wants to touch. So, again, regardless of where you stand politically, numbers don't lie. Social Security and Medicare, both, quite frankly, are going to have changes just from the math, if you do the simple math. And so we would expect that those things are going to go up in the form of taxes. They may change some of the eligibility ages because you can take, for example, Social Security when it first started, life expectancies were 7 or 8 years. Now people are living 30, 40 years in Social Security. So the politicians won't tell you that changes are going to have to be made, but we know just through simple math that changes are going to have to be made.
Yeah, I agree with that. And the reality is there are risks out there, and these risks ultimately translate into risks for your retirement and your ability to retire, stay retired, have confidence in that retirement. If you're in this group and approaching retirement, you can call us for your free financial checkup. We can look at your situation and see what you've saved and be able to start anticipating some of these higher costs and what would that mean to your retirement if we had increased expenses, increased taxes, all of those things. So you can be confident in your retirement plan no matter what's going on in the world. You just have to take the time and really spend time with people that do this every day and that are professionals in retirement planning. Give us a call, 615-488-3039, or check us out at beaconcm.com. Thanks for watching today's episode in Retirement Talk. Subscribe here to get more episodes just like this.